Hello, you're welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom here on Channel 1 TV. We're broadcasting live from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano here in Accra. I am Charles Osukumi. Coming up, Ex-Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu heads to court over ouster, wants Bafuboni's vetting suspended. Also in the bulletin, 2 high-profile trials take new turns. Court dismisses a Dubois stay application and adjourns Osesibe or Mensa cases indefinitely.
It's unfortunate that a man has been deprived of what they call in law the weapons of his warfare, exculpatory evidence. That what will
Former Peace Council Chair Reverend Professor Santi urges politicians to avoid politicizing Bawku conflict.
The political element is a big problem, and I'm hoping that our politicians will stay away from, exploiting such situations to enhance their own party.
And later, Ghana and Grenada signed a memorandum of understanding to deploy Ghanaian nurses to the Caribbean nation.
In the health sector, Grenada's interest in recruiting Ghanaian nurses and allied health professionals presents a valuable opportunity for structured collaboration between our two countries.
Coming up in Channel 1 Business. Engineers and planners finalizes $100 million acquisition of Azuma Resources Ghana. And later in Channel 1 Sports. Black Queens and coach Bjorgren shortlisted for Team and Coach of the Year at CAF Awards. Thank you for your time here on the Channel 1 Newsroom. Let's get into the details now. And former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu has filed legal challenge to halt the vetting and appointment of Justice Bafuboni as Ghana's next Chief Justice. The suit filed at the High Court seeks to nullify all actions taken by the Justice Gabriel Scott Poaman Committee, which was established to investigate petitions leading to her removal. In her application, Justice Tokonu is asking the court to declare the committee's proceedings invalid and to nullify the presidential warrant that effected her removal from office, describing it as illegal and of no effect. The legal action comes at a time when the Parliamentary Appointments Committee is set to vet Justice Bafuboni for the top judicial position. Well, let's stay with the court. Lead counsel for embattled former National Signals Bureau boss Atachiam has condemned the High Court's decision to continue the trial of his client despite a pending appeal, describing it as a miscarriage of justice. The Dubois legal team had sought to stay proceedings until the appeal against the court's earlier ruling dismissing a request for further disclosures was determined. However, the trial judge dismissed the application and ordered that the case proceed. There is more in the following report. During Friday's hearing, the Attorney General filed a notice to withdraw charges against the third accused, Mildred Donko. But lead counsel for Dubois, Atachia, objected, insisting that the Attorney General should have filed a motion due to the extensive nature of the amendments being sought. The trial judge, Justice John Dunyante, overruled the objection, stating that the Attorney General, constitutionally empowered to prosecute, does not require the court's approval to withdraw charges. Counsel for the discharged Mildred Donko, however, maintains her innocence.
My client was not mentioned as being part of the crime of stealing. Her name only appears in count, I think 11 or 12 or so. 10, 11, yes. So it's pretty clear that in terms of the formation of whatever has gone wrong, she was not part of that conclave, to decide on anything.
The court also reaffirmed its decision to proceed with the trial despite the pending appeal, a ruling that drew criticism from Atachia, who later expressed disappointment in an interview with the media.
It's unfortunate that a man has been deprived of what they call in law the weapons of his warfare, exculpatory evidence. That what will aid him to put together a credible defense. The judge said, I won't give it to you, but nevertheless, I'll proceed with the case. That is to say, I will deny you what you use to defeat the prosecution's case. For me, it's an aberration of justice, and this is what we will pursue. We pursue it very, very strong. For the first time, I'm hearing that somebody has been withdrawn as an accused person, the third accused, and is being made a witness. And he files it off as of right. But the law says you have the consent of the judge to do so. Now, I could tell you that it is one of the interesting developments and dramatic moments in this whole thing, because an accused person, I do not know the consideration, has become a prosecution witness.
Separately, the High Court in Accra has indefinitely adjourned the cases involving former National Service Authority Director General Osei Sibenchi and his deputy, Gifty Oware-Mensah, after both failed to appear in court. Counsel for Entry informed the court that his client was in Kumasi responding to police investigations and had not yet received a copy of the charge sheet. Lawyers for Oware-Mensah also presented a 2-day medical excuse to explain her absence. The case involving the former National Signals Bureau boss Edubo Ahene has since been adjourned to Thursday, October 23. The ones involving the former National Service Authority boss Osei Sibenchi and his deputy Gifty Oware-Mensah have also been adjourned indefinitely, but it's likely that next week court dates will be set for these two cases. From the court complex here in Accra, Charles Osukumi for Channel 1 News. Well, away from the court, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources says joint operations by the Blue Water Guards and the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat have led to the seizure of more than 12 excavators and several chamfer machines in the eastern and western regions. The equipment was confiscated from illegal mining sites operating in water bodies and forest reserves. Director of Communications at the Ministry, Amma Mausi, says the exercise forms part of efforts to clamp down on illegal mining and protect the country's natural reserves.
A few times, some of the miners bolt when they find the team, but they're able to at least seize or confiscate the items that they used. So I talked about the locals that were picked up around the Chinchiku area. There were about 3 of them around the Old Ebrim area. For excavators, we got about 12 of them. Motorbikes, we picked about 5 motorbikes, 4 excavator batteries, some computer monitors, heavy-duty water pumps, 2 of them, several fuel drums. And last week, the minister had mentioned the issue of the fuel drums, and it's a conversation that we are having with the NPA on how to tackle this fuel trade that is also, I'm going to use the word again, fueling the illegal mining activity.
Former chairperson of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel Asante, has called on politicians to pursue a bipartisan approach to restoring lasting peace in Bawku, cautioning them against exploiting the protracted conflict for political advantage. He made the appeal during an engagement with women from the Kusasi and Mamprusi communities residing in the Ashanti region, part of ongoing efforts to prevent a possible spillover of the long-standing Bawku conflict. Channel 1 News' Middle Belt Bureau Chief Hafiz Tijani reports.
Women from the Kusasi and Mamprusi tribes share deep social and family ties through intermarriages. However, years of tension and conflict in Bawku have strained those relationships. Now, these women are vowing to put aside their differences and promote peace.
Again, Mobina, Fasakan, Mobise, and Kokuntokwa. Sina me from say, Omunina, Momodum Brand, Nayan Shia, Nayanka, then Fasunji, embra Ashanti League ha because Tokone Boko ne wanya Ashanti League.
Yina ye pesene asumdue beba Bawku. Ye say ye. Ha drink. Ye bad time. What you say about obitua? So I want pushing you, so I was asking you. Hey,
During the meeting with officials of the National Peace Council, the women expressed concern about the role of social media in escalating the conflict and appealed to government to step in.
Mohammed Rankasankasano or Pasumdue, Yesu Christo Pasumdue, Confonache Pasumdue, Nasadama Wagina, so be your Unia, be your born in other Chadra. Say Yamia Apedian.
Recently, the Ashanti Regional Security Council and the Peace Council facilitated a dialogue between leaders of both groups, leading to the signing of a peace pact to promote unity and non-violence. These renewed efforts come in the wake of recent killings in Aswansi, reportedly linked to the Bawku conflict.
This is very, very, very important because many a time when we are dealing with issues of this nature, it's the men that we call. But I tell you, the women also have a role to play when things are destroyed. When husbands are killed, they take responsibility for their homes and their children.
He further condemned the politicization of the conflict, warning that such actions only deepen division and prolong hostilities.
The political element is a big problem, and I'm hoping that our politicians will stay away from, exploiting such situations to enhance their own party ego, if I may put it that way. Let the politicians understand that the peace of any part of this country redounds to the well-being and to the development of our nation.
These women behind me from the Kusasi and Mampusi factions are leaving this auditorium with one pledge to peacefully coexist with one another and ensure efforts are made to end the conflict in Bawku. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Kumasi, Ashanti Region.
Now, more than 400,000 students are expected to report to various senior high schools across the country on Saturday, October 18. Out of this number, about 25,000 will be admitted into private senior high schools under the government free senior high school program. Now, this follows the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Education and the Ghana National Council of Private Schools to regulate and guide the enrollment process. Now, to assess the readiness of these private institutions ahead of this intake, we're joined via Zoom by the spokesperson for the Conference of Heads of Private Second Cycle Schools, Naftali Chei-Bafom. Good evening to you, sir. First of all, how prepared are the private schools as first-year students are set to report tomorrow?
All right. Good evening and good evening to your cherished viewers. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, indeed, we're expecting quite a number of students to report to their respective senior high schools. That is the 70 that are part of the piloting system we are doing. We're expecting to receive almost 25,000 of them. Some of them have started, coming for their prospectus and ready to join just as they've been posted. It's then an opportunity for us to have an engagement with them, train them just as it has always been. So we are ready. In terms of facility, we do. In terms of preparedness, facility, and everything, we are ready to receive them. We're expecting that they come to the various schools from Monday. Because we don't run a boarding system as far as the policy is concerned, we're expecting that by Monday, they join us in our various schools.
Well, Naftali, how significant is the inclusion of these private schools in the free SHS program?
Indeed, it has come as good news, not only to parents and not only to government. And it has been a collective call. And what we sought to do was that gone were the days you have quite a number of people who did not have opportunity to enroll in various public institutions just because of lack of facilities. That is why we had always knocked on the doors of governments that we have the facilities, we have the teachers, we have everything and ready to enroll them. So it has come as a welcoming news to us. I think it is going to reduce the pressure on parents who, as it were, would have to sacrifice their world going to some distance very far from where they are. Now you have the opportunity of having a private school proximity-wise closer to you. You have always yearned to have that private school, to enroll your world in that private school. As it were, the challenge had to be with fees. And now that you are fortunate to have that school, it's just there to reduce the tension, to reduce that pressure that is associated with moments like this. As far as the posting is concerned, it's a welcoming news.
Okay, we're also told that the ministry is providing 994 cedis per student annually. That's less than 1,000 cedis. I mean, this is not adequate, is it?
Yeah, to be honest, I agree. It is woefully inadequate. But the focus has not just been on the money. Since this is a piloting project, especially looking at the 2025-2026 academic year, we think that there was a need to have a start-off point. We needed to start from somewhere. First, know what we can do to augment the effort of government, help in our own way. We had our own expectation. These people are coming as day students, and just to set the record straight, the 994 is exclusive of other materials such as exercise books, uniform, textbooks, anniversary cloth, and all other things, exclusive of the one hot meal a day. So it is just as some recurrent expenditure given to the schools to help manage. In as much as it is woefully inadequate, we need to still welcome and embrace it. It's expedient. We start from somewhere, and because it's pilot, we are able to identify the lapses associated with this. Then hopefully by next year, when we have quite a number joining, we would have identified the remedies to deal with such possible challenges. So we are starting from here, and we are hopeful that we'll be able to go somewhere.
I mean, talking about remedies for the challenges, what are the timelines for the evaluation of the piloting phase?
The entire MOU with government is 3 years. The understanding we are made to understand that the piloting is just for the 2025-2026 academic year. So just before we enter the 2026-2027 academic year, we have to go back to the drawing board, have a review of what the first year brought and what possible challenges came with. Then before it is expanded for others to join, we would have had opportunity of mitigating those potential challenges that were associated with that of the 2025-2026 academic year, but we can be able to handle it.
Okay. I'm also told that the 994 is for just day students, borders not inclusive, right?
That's all right. That's all right. That is the MOU we have with government. Every student posted to a private senior high school exclusively will be a day student. So what that simply means is that when the person comes and is interested in benefiting from the boarding facilities of the school, the person would have to pay the extra cost as far as feeding and accommodation is concerned. But if you are posted as a day student, you pay absolutely nothing in addition to what government is bringing to the schools. That is very correct.
All right, now, your organization, how are you ensuring that these participating schools ensure topmost professionalism and standards as they partake in the free senior high school program?
It's an opportunity that government has given. We are not supposed to abuse the opportunity, take advantage and abuse the opportunity.
All right.
So we are going to equally meet members and still do an orientation. We did a first orientation. Now that the MOU has been signed, we still want to engage the 70 members, have a final orientation as the students even come on Monday, what we should do. If government has reposed this confidence in us, let us not take advantage and abuse. Let's rather project to government and to the entire nation that indeed we have something to offer. We are ready to help government train the children we have, so that government should not regret at any point in time. And as part of the MOU, anybody who attempts to take advantage and abuse the system, as it were, charge some exorbitant prices higher than what has been agreed, it has to go through a process. If you agree with your PTA, it has to be subject to the review of the conference. Then it further has to be escalated to even the Ghana Education Service to give some finality to it before that is implemented.
All right.
So these are all measures that have been put in place to ensure that it runs smoothly.
All right, grateful to you, Naftali. Naftali Chebafo is the spokesperson for the Conference of Heads of Private Second Cycle Schools. Moving away from education, Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapor, has stressed the need for increased investment in the Volta River Authority to help cut down the high cost of power purchases from independent power producers and strengthen Ghana's electricity generation capacity. He made the call during a working visit to the VRA, where he interacted with management and staff of both the authority and the Electricity Company of Ghana. Channel 1 News' Samuel Akom has details.
On Friday, October 17, 2025, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Abdullahi Jinapor, paid a working visit to the Volta River Authority and the Electricity Company of Ghana as part of his official engagement, his first since assuming office. The minister was warmly received by management and staff of both institutions. During his interaction with the Volta River Authority, Minister Jinapor underscored the importance of channeling substantial investment into the VRA. He explained that the government currently spends millions of dollars purchasing electricity from independent power producers to augment generation capacity. He emphasized that expanding VRA generation asset will not only boost national supply, but also help cut the huge cost associated with external power procurement.
And I was telling your chief executive that my experience with the IPPs has shown me that we have to invest heavily in VRA. That is on the back of the envelope, $840 million every year, not cedis, times the number of years the IPPs have been operating. Don't you think that if we had escrowed this money, we could have built more thermal plants with VRA and sell the power at a cheaper price?
Minister Jinapor revealed that the government has saved about $230 million through renegotiations with independent power producers, a development he described as vital to stabilizing the energy sector.
We've negotiated with the IPPs, and based on the numbers I'm seeing, I'm confident that we can save a lot of money. And so far, what the IPP renegotiating team has done tells me that we are saving about $300 million from the IPPs.
In his meeting with the Electricity Company of Ghana, the minister disclosed that a committee set up to trace missing ECG containers has completed its work and submitted a report to the Attorney General's Department for necessary action.
We funded the full document to the Attorney General. He's studying it. And if people are found culpable, I'm very confident that the law will take its course. We are not victimizing anybody. We are doing what is right and what is proper.
John Jinapor further noted that ECG management has reviewed 347 contracts, terminating 202 without incurring any financial or legal liabilities, a move he lauded as a prudent step towards safeguarding public funds.
Your MD and the team, they've reviewed most of the contracts. Of the 347 contracts that they've reviewed, they've successfully, without cost and without legal implication, terminated 202 of those contracts. What it means is that you didn't need those over 200 contracts.
Now, some stakeholders in the waste management sector are calling on the government to urgently establish a dedicated sanitation authority. They argue that such an institution would ensure the effective implementation of policies and interventions related to waste management across the country. Channel 1 News' Philip Nilati has more in this report.
Filth has engulfed many parts of Ghana, particularly in the capital, Accra, while the government, in collaboration with waste management companies, appear to be making efforts to address the situation. Waste continues to line streets and pile up in residential areas. Many households struggle with proper waste disposal. To address this growing concern, the government introduced the National Sanitation Day, a monthly initiative aimed at promoting cleanliness. However, stakeholders argue that the absence of a central sanitation authority has exacerbated challenges in managing waste effectively. Dr. Peter Dagadu, Managing Director of Waste Landfill Company, emphasizes the need for institutional leadership in the sanitation sector.
A central coordinating authority is the way to go, and that is what several countries that have been intentional on solid waste management have encouraged. A central authority, or for Ghana, for a waste management authority, would be not only should not be considered as a mere bureaucratic expansionary activity, but it's a strategic imperative that will centralize leadership and then coordinate, that it will address the fragmented nature of how several agencies and ministries all deal with waste management in Ghana.
As part of efforts to build capacity and learn best practices, Dr. Dagadu, along with other top management officials from the Jospon group of companies, visited Singapore to learn its successful sanitation system. At the heart of Singapore's cleanliness is the National Environment Agency, the NEA, under the Ministry of Sustainability and the Environment. The NEA is responsible for maintaining a clean and sustainable environment. Abubakar bin Mudnor, a board member of the NEA, highlighted the agency's pivotal role in Singapore's sanitation success.
It's a national environment agency. We have a lot. I mean, you're talking about the green, weather, rubbish, mosquito breeding, even how you manage the body, their body and so on. So we need to have an agency to make sure that help out with the environment ecosystem. Having that agency or having that state board, a body who are able to understand, appreciate the landscape, the challenges that the country have, and then come up with a regulation, come up with a standard operating procedure, a process that goes also into incentive scheme to ensure that everybody are on board. So having a NEA actually is a very good dedicated body.
Meanwhile, Engineer Israel Boachi Echampon, Director of Research at the Africa Research and Incubation Center, ARIC, of the Jospon group of companies, believes it is not too late for Ghana to establish its own sanitation authority. He stressed that doing so will help plug existing gaps in the country's sanitation and waste management systems.
Interesting to know that all these plants are supposed to report to them on a daily basis, and they can even tell you that if you receive too much waste, close up. And then they also have a model whereby on a daily basis they are telling where the waste volume should move to ensure that they have a sustainable system. And I think on the public side, that is something that I have not seen, and it lines up with the call for a sanitation authority in the country who would be actually involved in the day-to-day, not just the policy, legal role, but ensuring that volumes are going where they have to go. I don't think it's late to do these things. And NEMA actually told us that they also went around to actually learn from people. And that is why they have what they have in there. So it's not too late. Once we agree that there's that gap and they can fill it, I believe as a nation we can adopt that system and then see how it can help the whole value chain.
It will be prudent for the government of Ghana to immediately set up a sanitation authority to regulate the affairs of waste management in the country. This is what stakeholders in the waste management sector are asking for. Reporting for Channel One News, I am Philip Milate, Singapore.
You are still watching the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One TV. Still ahead. Engineers and planners finalizes $100 million acquisition of Azuma Resources Ghana. Now, please stay with us. We have details in a bit.
Hey, Ghana. So you people know Miss Brother Man small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the grades. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
Love the Premier League? Your DSTV premium subscription could get you there in real life, Charlie. Stay connected for your chance to watch the Premier League live. Man U versus Man City at Old Trafford or Arsenal versus Man U in London. Stay connected to score with DSTV Premium. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toy, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Welcome back. This is the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Next is business with Telenete Ajao.
Channel 1 Business is brought to you by MTN and EcoBank.
How may I help you today?
We'd like to open a bank account.
Sign here, sign here, sign here, and here. And now you draw direction to your house. I need your thumbprint. And I'll need your birth certificate too. No, I need the original.
A lot has changed since you banked like this. So have we. We've made it easier than ever to open an account online and bank on the go through our mobile app, online banking, and more. EcoBank, a better way to bank your way.
Sign here, and here.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, Natalie, you're welcome.
Thank you, Charles.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm all right. What do you have for us? I mean, some finality to the engineers and planners,
yes,
and resources issues.
I think it's some good news for us because the mining sector is significantly foreign dominated. So to have a local company owning 100%, I think it's some good news.
All right, let's have the details.
Engineers and Planners has completed the full payment of $100 million to the former foreign shareholders of Azuma Resources Ghana Limited, officially finalizing its acquisition of the Black Volta and Sankofa gold concessions. The two international transfers executed through the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development in Lomé were made on October 6 and October 7, 2025. There's more in this report.
According to transaction details, the first payment of $8.07 million was transferred to Kango Pte Limited in London, while the second, amounting to $91.92 million, was remitted to IGIC Pte Limited in Singapore. These payments represent the final settlement with Azuma Australia and its partners, effectively ending months of ownership uncontrolled disputes over the concessions. Director of Azuma Resources Ghana, Noel Ni Ado, confirmed the development during a stakeholder briefing in Accra.
As we speak, as on the 7th and 6th and 7th of October, the second leg of the acquisition or the swap of the loan facility of Azuma has duly been executed. Engineers and planners has hereby transferred what is due IGIG as well as Kango. That's about $91 million to IGIG and another about $9 million to Kango, thereby sealing the whole transaction.
Mr. Ado further disclosed that beyond the $100 million settlement, E&P has injected an additional $10 million into the ongoing development of the mining operations.
E&P is on the ground. They've taken over the staff. As we speak, in addition to the $100 million, they've invested about $10 million since October. In fact, they have been paying staff of Azuma since October 2023 to date. So there's nothing, unless somebody wants to be serious.
Now, the number of Ghanaians facing food insecurity rose by 7.3% between the first and last quarters of 2024. That's according to new data released by the Ghana Statistical Service. The report shows that the population experiencing food insecurity, defined as limited access to adequate and nutritious food, increased from 12.4 million in the first quarter to 13.3 million by the end of 2024. Here is more.
Ghana Statistical Service says the trend underscores mounting pressure on household food systems despite ongoing government and development interventions. Regional disparities remain significant. The Volta region recorded the highest incidence of food insecurity at 52% in the fourth quarter of 2024, up slightly from 51.5% earlier in the year. Greater Accra, while faring better, saw a sharp increase from 20.2% to 29% during the same period. The report also draws attention to gender gaps in food access. Food insecurity among female-headed households rose from 40.4% to 44%, compared to 37.1% among male-headed households, maintaining a 7-point difference. The proportion of households with underweight children under 5 years rose from 34% to 44.9%, while the number of Ghanaians who are both food insecure and multi-dimensionally poor increased by 400,000 to reach 4.1 million by the end of 2024. The Ghana Statistical Service calls for coordinated, data-driven policy action to address hunger, promote climate resilience agriculture, and ensure equitable access to nutritious food for all Ghanaians.
Let's now bring you an update on how the currency is performing on the interbank market. And that's all for Channel 1 Business. I am Neteli Neti Ajaho. Back to you, Charles.
Well, grateful to you, Neteli. To some other stories now, and Ghana has signed a memorandum of understanding with the state of Grenada to enable the recruitment of Ghanaian nurses into Grenada's healthcare system. The agreement was formalized during a visit by Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell to the Jubilee House. Sarah Pia has more.
The high-level engagement sought to deepen bilateral relations between Ghana and Grenada, focusing on health, trade and cultural collaboration. In a key outcome of the talks, Ghana's Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, and Grenada's Foreign Minister signed an MOU to facilitate the deployment of Ghanaian healthcare professionals to support Grenada's health sector. President John Dramani Mahama welcomed the agreement, describing it as a milestone that promotes mutual benefit and strengthens cooperation between the two nations.
In the health sector, Grenada's interest in recruiting Ghanaian nurses and allied health professionals presents a valuable opportunity for structured collaboration between our two countries. Ghanaian health workers have gained international recognition for their professionalism and their compassion, and we're keen to explore arrangements that address both our national needs and Grenada's health priorities.
On trade, President Mahama emphasized the urgent need to address the absence of direct air connectivity between West Africa and the Caribbean, describing it as a major obstacle to trade and the movement of people. He added that government is finalizing arrangements to operationalize a vessel waiver agreement to simplify travel between Ghana and Grenada.
The Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum, ACTIV, is another avenue to strengthen the trade and investment connections between Africa and the Caribbean. However, one significant barrier continues to hinder our cooperation, and that is the lack of direct air connectivity between the Caribbean and Africa. This limitation restricts the movement of people, goods, and services. We must collaborate to change this situation.
Reiterating his commitment to reparative justice, President Mahama disclosed plans to present a motion at the United Nations by 2026, seeking official recognition of the transatlantic slave trade as one of the gravest crimes against humanity.
Africa calls for reparative justice is no longer a whisper. It is a unified demand grounded in historical truth, moral clarity, and our unwavering commitment to dignity. And I look forward to Ghana and Grenada collaborating alongside other partners to promote this moral and historic cause. At the UN General Assembly this year, I served notice that Ghana intends to file a motion at the United Nations next year to declare slavery as one of the greatest crimes against humanity.
We stand ready to continue the conversation and the fight for the acknowledgement that slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, is in fact perhaps the worst human crime that has been committed against humanity, and that we should recommit to ensure that it never happens again.
He also revealed plans to establish direct flights between Africa and the Caribbean to enhance connectivity, boost trade, promote tourism, and strengthen cultural ties.
We have been speaking to the CEO of Ethiopian Airlines that we are committed in very much the same way we often subsidize American and European flights to get to the Caribbean, that we are committed to working in any way we can to ensure that we can get flights from the African continent directly into the Caribbean.
Now, poor performance of pupils in some local communities within the Effutu municipality in external examinations has raised concerns among stakeholders, prompting renewed efforts to reverse the trend. While Member of Parliament for the area, Alexander Fanyamakin, has spearheaded several initiatives, including the construction of 18 libraries to boost literacy, the municipal chief executive says additional measures are being rolled out to improve learning conditions and overall student outcomes. Our Central Regional Correspondent, Akwasiado, has more.
In Dayasau, one of the communities in the Effutu municipality, student performance in the basic education certificate examination has been far from satisfactory, with a significant number of candidates recording poor results.
Because this year, I feel I'm school I work for SHS. Now one grade I went in Omokra because if you work on family and wage man, we get 48, we get 50. Now that oye won't carry 21, 23.
According to education authorities, this challenge is not peculiar to Dayasau, but mirrors the situation in several other local communities within the municipality.
Just quite recently, I've received so many briefings with respect to low performance so far as education is concerned. And I believe strongly this edifice is going to help enhance our good people of Winnipeg, especially our children, to learn and indeed come out with the expected results we are all expecting.
To help change this narrative, the area's Member of Parliament and Minority Leader in Parliament, Osahene Alexander Afenyo-Markin, has rolled out a series of educational interventions. So far, 18 modern libraries have been constructed and commissioned by the MP to enhance reading and literacy skills among pupils across the municipality.
Has reading rooms, computers, internet access, and a collection of books that cater for various interests. And the community center section provides a space for workshop, civic discussions, cultural programs, and skill development sessions.
Education officials say the initiative is already yielding positive results, with more pupils developing interest in reading and improving their academic performance.
So far, we are getting a lot of positive feedback, and we are recording a lot of success stories, especially when it comes to the ICT side. We take our laptops and computers even to the schools. We take them to the classrooms for them to have practical lessons.
In addition to library projects and the renovation of dilapidated school structures, the MP has commenced the construction of 3 new senior high schools at Nsuetri.
We have 3 secondary schools to complete, 1 at Nsuetri, 1 at Effutu, and 1 at New Winneba. If these facilities are completed, it will ease the pressure on Winnipeg. And instead of our children being posted, given admission to various schools outside of our enclave, at least they would get the opportunity here.
For the Channel 1 Newsroom, I am Akwese Yado, Dayasau Central Region.
Now, former Vice President and New Patriotic Party flag-bearer hopeful, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has reaffirmed his commitment to uniting all the aspirants after the flag-bearer primaries to ensure a decisive NPP victory in the 2028 elections. Addressing delegates on the 3rd day of his Our Journey Together tour of the Bono East region, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia emphasized that the NPP's greatest asset is its unity. Channel 1 News' Hansen Ajiman has more.
Dr. Bawumia, during his rounds, reiterated that his campaign is focused on policies and ideas aimed at advancing national development rather than personal attacks. He underscored the importance of working together after the primaries to consolidate the party's strength. As part of Friday's itinerary, Dr. Bawumia's campaign team visited Kintampo South and Nkranza North, and ended the day with an engagement in Nkranza South. He again stressed the need for unity, emphasizing his readiness to bring all contenders together as a united front for victory in 2028.
Adia, ewo no say, ye party mo, ye hian kabom. Ye hian kaboma ye de ko wini 2028 election. Media me obia, me pen kabom. Enti mutie me kasa, min kasantia obiao. Min didi obia tem. Me chrema dream. Because minim say, mudi frank ane sheme sa, me fa fre obia se ombembe kame ho, na ye nyina kopre enje tumi no. Enti udidi obia tema na ofre no obeba. Omba enti misusu kasa, min didi obia tem mudi franka ne chemisa me shemu bose mefka obia abom na yakọ akoje tumi.
In Kintampo South, delegates of the party pledged to increase Dr. Bawumia's share of votes in the upcoming 2026 presidential primaries, expressing confidence in his leadership and vision for national transformation. They described him as a unifying and visionary leader whose humility and integrity have earned him broad support within the NPP and beyond.
2024, answer na yebeko general election. The year 2 our Kintampo South, Dr. Nya 77%. Mumwe mwense maya ho. Sa 77% no, afiwe. Yeah man is saying. Yadomasipa. Pentina edru Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so mosi yansana. Adinti abusuafo mu ni nyina nya adwene. Na ya nyina yanko benklom. Na Kintampo South yantu ni boom. and former Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
This is still the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 TV. Still to come. Black Queens and coach Bjorgren shortlisted for Team and Coach of the Year at CAF Awards. Details shortly. Please stay with us.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
It's on SuperSport all season long. Pay your subscription today. Dial *759#. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again? Now I understand the whole delay. Trotro from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey him later.
Of course.
Go be the luckiest, go be from Georgia be luckiest, from not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest, everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toy, so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car?
Dial *712#. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother Man Small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the greats. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boy, faha.
Love the Premier League? Your DSTV premium subscription could get you there in real life, Charlie. Stay connected for your chance to watch the Premier League live. Man U versus Man City at Old Trafford or Arsenal versus Man U in London. Stay connected to score with DSTV Premium. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us here on the Channel 1 Newsroom. Next is Channel 1 Sports with Bernard Bawku. Hello, Bawku. Good to see you, my brother.
Hey, good to see you. So, how are you?
I'm all right.
Great.
What do you got?
Well, the Black Queens coach is in the picture. I feel he's done well, Kimlas Bjorgren, because you know the situation that's got Narhudla, out of the team, right? So, getting his name for an award is special. Let's get into it.
How well has he done, though?
Oh, well, in our qualifying series, it has not been bad, Ave. And, I think everyone thought the team was going to be divided, and but they're playing collectively as a team, and a lot of factors come into the picture with foreign players and their introduction as well.
All right, take it
Well,
away.
let's get into it, shall we? Now, Ghana's Black Queens and their head coach, Kimlas Bjørgren, have been selected for the Team of the Year and Coach of the Year awards, respectively. The Swedish tactician guided Ghana to a bronze medal finish at the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco earlier this year, performance that earned him a place among the top 10 nominees announced by the Confederations of African Football ahead of this year's award ceremony. Bjørgren, who replaced Swiss coach Nora Hudla earlier this year following the expiration of a contract, joins a strong list of contenders including Cote d'Ivoire's Adelaide Asec Nimosas, Seika Gigi Toari, TP Mazembe's Lamia Bomedi. For now, Kimlas Bjørgren's focus remains on leading the Black Queens to qualify for the 2026 WAFCON as they prepare to face Egypt in the final round of the qualifier. Let's pay attention to something important in the greatest league on planet Earth. Liverpool will set out to snap a 3-game losing streak when arch rivals Manchester United visit Anfield on Sunday. With Arsenal due to play Fulham on Saturday, Liverpool could be 4 points off top spots at the start of play, adding more significance to the latest edition of English football's biggest fixture. We hear from the two coaches. First off, Andy Slot, followed by Ruben Amorim.
I look forward to every single Premier League game, but maybe even more towards the Man United one, because I know how special it is, and I've experienced it last season, how special of a game it is. We know that it's probably the game that's been watched the most all over the world. So yeah, it's special to be part of it, but in the end, it's also a game where we have to be at our best, because United, in my opinion, has had a better start of the season than maybe the league table is showing. So yeah, very interesting game, and a game to look forward to, especially because it's played at Anfield. And I think our fans have been so supportive for us as long as I'm here and long before I was here. And I think they understand that the team that has lost three times in a row, they need to be ready, our team. But I think our fans can help us and will help us on Sunday as well.
That I don't know. Sometimes things change really fast, but if you see the history of both clubs, you can feel it that sometimes you have one club that is winning, the other club is having a bad moment. That happened with Liverpool when Manchester United was winning everything, and that happened with Manchester United when Liverpool was winning everything. So we just have to acknowledge that, to be really honest with the fans. But we can win any game. So if we think about just winning the next game, that is the most important thing. We can win the next game.
That's the latest from the world of sports, and I am Bernard Abeku. Charles, that's your sports.
Oh, thank you, Abeku. Well, that'll be how we end this edition of the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One TV. Do visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel One TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel One TV. Download the Channel One TV app on Google Play Store and the App Store. I'm Charles Osukume. Many thanks to you for watching.